Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Jessica Payne and welcome to Jessica Payne Live. We are going to jump right in. First and foremost, have a seat. If you're watching me on live, if you're watching me on the replay, thank you very much. If you're catching me here on Facebook, yay. If you're watching me on YouTube, that little engine that could took off and I'm seeing you coming through there. So thank you, thank you. As you know, on Jessica Payne Live every week, we talk about how real is greater than perfect and what is more real and humbling than trying to navigate the world of bots. So without further ado, the lovely person sharing my screen right now is none other than Redden. You may know her. She is the founder of Black Belt Bots. She's going to school us today on this whole mysterious, magical thing. She's a messenger marketing expert. RJ, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jessica. I am so glad to be here with you.
Yay! And it looks like a few of your buddies are here as well. It looks like we have Stephen, none other than the king, Stephen Healy. And we also have Jamie Hunter. Shout out to Jamie. She schooled me yesterday on social media and boomers because we assume we know much, but listen. So she schooled me. Welcome, Jamie. Welcome, Stephen.
Yay. So I'm so glad to be here. Thanks for letting me be on your show and talk about my favorite and most enthusiastic subject of all time, messenger marketing.
Now, I think you're gonna turn a lot of light bulbs on for people, because if there's one thing I've heard, and you were my first introduction to bots, which is a good thing, because I immediately, as soon as I wanted to know more about it, I knew to come to you. So you've kind of helped guide me through. Although if there's one thing I hear from a lot of folks, there's a lot of confusion around bots. They want to know what it is. We don't know what they are. We know they're important. How about we start there? You just said a phrase which we should repeat: messenger marketing. What is a bot, and what is the difference between maybe a good one and a bad one? Can we start there?
Absolutely. So really, bots are sort of a blanket term for a lot of automated activity on the internet. Everywhere. That is not what we're talking about. I would like to differentiate immediately. I'm talking about messenger marketing. I'm talking about chatbots that exist in your business Facebook Messenger page.
Okay.
And that's why I call it messenger marketing. I want to get away from calling it bots because, that just scares people. They think that I'm involved with Russia. I'm not.
Yeah.
Vladimir is not on the phone. That is not happening.
Put that out right now. She's so kind. She'd make the perfect, you'd think, but there's nothing shady about RJ Redden. She doesn't work for another country. Bots are actually a powerful tool.
They are. They're so powerful. And I like to think about it like this. And this is the phrase that more people, I think, seems to grab onto, is that messenger marketing is a conversation on steroids.
Explain that.
Okay. So you are my live streaming queen. You've got it going on live wise. And you're teaching people in a class, you've got it going on. Why do you live stream?
This is why I love you, because you're such a good conversationalist. I love live streaming because for me, it creates something I was missing and lacking, a person-to-person connection, actually in real time, but a lot of times delayed. It resembles more of the real conversation that I used to experience when I first got on social media, and the medium itself I enjoy because it only functions when it's a back and forth exchange of information, and I like that. That's why I live stream. That's why I somehow keep coming back.
That's such a beautiful answer. And to me, when I discovered live streaming, now I'm a blabber. Those were my days. Robert C. Stern is here. How perfect. Hello, darling.
What's up, Robert?
The bot signal. Boop. So I'm a blabber. And when I discovered Blab, it was like, for those of you who don't know, it's a live streaming platform that went away a little while ago, but a lot of folks met on there. I was absolutely enamored with that process, with live streaming, because it breaks down the fourth wall. Advertising, marketing, the whole world of it used to be broadcast, broadcast, broadcast. Scream into a bullhorn on a street corner, and the louder you can scream, the more numbers you get. The more numbers you get, the more people might come back to you. And that's the way that advertising has been for forever and ever. But with the different mediums that have come by now that I can get on and produce a video in 10 minutes and have it up on YouTube and have people seeing it.
Yeah.
Now that people have become, broadcasters, basically, that model is starting to change. And now with some of the recent Facebook changes and stuff like that, we're even going more away from the I'm going to talk at you until you show up in my inbox somehow. We're going away from that broadcast model and going much more to a conversation model.
Yeah.
Live streaming totally does that because you can connect to your audience in real time and ask them questions and then post their answers up during a live stream and really connect on a level that you couldn't before. And I absolutely love live streaming. I live stream myself, and
you do.
It's an amazing process. Well, so then when I discovered messenger marketing, it even opens up a deeper level of that. To me, I get on social media, I live stream, I do all of the things that I do so that it can lead to a conversation, a real conversation with another human being. And messenger marketing is a great way to do that because people talk to people they care about on Messenger. And I want to be a business that you care about on Messenger. So that is, in short, that's where I think things are going. I mean, with Facebook's changes, they're all about have a conversation on your page or else you're not going to show up in anybody's feed anymore. Have a conversation, make a real actual connection. Don't be a broadcast, be a two-way street.
Talk to us about how, obviously with anything new, there might be some new parameters or new expectations we should set. Talk to us about the time frame. Does this take longer than email marketing? Walk us through maybe an example of, because I assume that the best messenger marketing campaigns, you just don't set it and forget it. Can you walk us through maybe some tips for someone who might wonder what that whole experience looks like? Do we messenger? It's obviously a two-way medium. I assume it doesn't happen in a day. Does it take a longer amount of time? What does it look like, a typical messenger campaign?
Typically, and this is like, I'm giving you the right now information, but this has room to way evolve in the future. So right now, what it's looking like is a lot of people are taking what they're doing in email. They're taking the content that they're bringing to people in email, and they're moving that content and putting it into a conversational format, which is way different than an email, people. It's way different. An email, if you think about it, it's like a lecture. It's like somebody's getting on stage and telling a story. It's informational. It's designed to be one-way communication. Occasionally people will hit reply, but there's not a whole lot of that. So email is a lecture. Conversational format is much different. So people are taking what they're producing in email, they're taking that content and they're attempting to transfer that to another different platform and then give people kind of almost the same experience that you would have in an email. That it's once every day, once every couple of days, I'm going to drip you some information about me, my products, my services, my business. I'm going to ask you a few questions. We're going to have a little conversation every day for 5 to 7 days. And at the end of that, there's usually a call to action of some kind, which is, hey, come see my live stream show. Hey, subscribe on YouTube. Hey, give me a call. that kind of a thing. So that's what it's looking like right now, just sort of for an intro sequence. But also there's a lot of live streamers who are, and Stephen Healy, I know you're here, who are using it to get more people to their live stream shows, the replays, and a couple of people, myself included, offering online courses through these things. And so it's really opening up the world of what can we offer? How can we involve people and engage them in what I would call a 3D experience, an enhanced experience?
Got it. A quick shout out to Dwayne Richards tuning in from one of my favorite countries, Canada. Hello, Dwayne. He has a live show. We've got a couple of our live gurus here. We've got Robert, Dwayne, we've got Stephen. So yeah, and we're fans of all three of your shows. If you have experience in bots or questions about bots, we all know that you guys are live stream gurus. It's great to have you on, because I think you're probably thinking along the same lines of, and that's my next question, RJ. We've mentioned live streaming. Do you have to have a live show to use a bot? To use messenger marketing? Let me rephrase that question.
To use messenger marketing, you don't have to have a regular show to use. No, absolutely not. A ton of people are using these, and here's a stat that I got secondhand. My friend Kim Boltzma went to social media marketing world, and she brought us back. She brought me back. She texted me during the conference. She's like, "You are sitting on a gold mine right now. This is all they are talking about here." But a couple of the stats were, how many people are on Messenger, which is 1.8 billion people. It's an insane number. And there's about 200,000 messenger marketing instances going on right now. So a couple of 100,000 bots and 1.8 billion people. So there's a wide open space out there for people to experiment. There are restaurants using bots. You can now go and sit down and scan a little thing and make an order and get it brought to your table. I mean, there's stuff like that going on. I personally wrote a get out the vote bot, and my friend Gail in Tennessee is having her election today, so we'll see how that worked. I'm also writing a bot for my brother-in-law, who is a tax professor at Northern Illinois University. And this bot is going to teach his students how to relate to people that they are writing up the taxes for.
Oh, beautiful. So, wow. So it's actually a teaching tool and not just a marketing tool. I think you talk us through that, because I think that is what I'm the most excited about, is already thinking outside of the box in terms of what messenger marketing can do. Because we assume it's a marketing tool. That is super cool. So this bot will literally teach his students, is it personable skills or conversation skills?
It is, because what they're trying to do is they're filling out a tax return. They're helping somebody fill out a tax return. Mm-hmm. And so they're supposed to ask certain types of questions in an understandable way. So, I teach a class up at the university every fall, and it's called IT for Development. And I teach people who are so deep in their computers that they forget what real people need to hear. They talking code almost. And so I teach them, I send them out to, small businesses, mom and pop flower shop, and I teach them how to relate to other people. And so this is a very similar situation where he's got people that are so deeply smart and so well-versed in technical terms, tax accounting wise, that they need a little bit of help dealing one-on-one with people. So yeah, using bots as an educational tool is so cool. It is so cool because when you're teaching something to someone, you make room for questions. You can't always do that when you're lecturing, right? I mean,
Right.
every week when I'm in my class, I stand up there and I talk a while and all of that kind of stuff. And I say, any questions? I always say it. Almost no one ever has any questions until I say, okay, you got 20 minutes, do this thing. And then 4 or 5 people will come up and ask me questions about what I just said. Why? Because it's private. They don't have to say their question in front of other people. They don't have to reveal how much they don't know because no one wants to do that. And so I get 4 or 5 people coming up and asking me questions. And I think this is a perfect opportunity because bots, it's a one-on-one private conversation all the time. You can ask any question you want, anytime you want, and you'll get an answer back. And so it's a perfect educational tool.
Gosh, I love that. And this is something that I've learned since starting my show. So live streamers out there or people considering it, I sometimes forget about the whole privacy thing. I'll disclose a lot if I know it's a conversation where I can learn something. But I will notice if, it depends on the subject matter. I'll ask a question where I expect a lot of people to come back and answer it. And I realize they might not feel comfortable answering that or asking a question around that publicly. Social media is a public platform. Even in groups, you're still broadcasting. Some people are completely comfortable with it. Some people never want to have a fear around broadcasting the fact that they might not know anything, which is completely valid. So bots can actually fill that role of, it sounds like, of having that conversation in private. That could even build off a public conversation. Is that right?
Oh, absolutely. So a lot of, my conversations start in a public way and then filter down to a private conversation. In fact, that's for me, that's the point of all of my social media is how many conversations can I start? How many one-on-one conversations can I start? The bot, the messenger marketing tool, it makes it so that you're right. It's that one-on-one environment, but every single sequence that I have out there, everything that I've ever written inside a bot for myself leads to a phone call with me. Everyone. Because I want to get to know the people that I'm serving. I want to know what they understand and don't understand. There are subtle ways of asking people if they understand something that don't involve the straight up, do you understand what I just said? Because people will always say they're inclined to say yes. No one wants to look foolish, right?
Right.
So if I can find a subtler way to to ask that question and to get people to ask me questions, then by the time we get on the phone, I know where you're at. I know what I would suggest for you. I know what path that I think is going to be most beneficial for you. That may include some products with me. It may not. There are tons of products out there. There are tons of teachers out there. So yeah, I mean, to me, everything in social media is geared toward let's start a conversation. Let's discuss some ideas. Let's get this to a one-on-one conversation live and in person. So.
Right. And with the bot, it starts there. Yeah. It sounds like.
It does.
Folks, quick tech check. If you hear an echo, let me know. If we're all sounding nice and clear, let us know. I just have noticed a little bit of feedback. I always want to make this a pleasant experience. We've got a great question. Teresa, I hope you don't mind if we read it. I'll put it up on the screen for you, RJ. And I'm just going to hand it over to you, my good friend. Here, let me bring it up for you. Teresa, thanks so much for watching. This is why I've always been uncomfortable using my page to promote business, because my business is centered around people being stuck in a struggle. Exactly. Teresa's like, that light bulb just went off not too long ago for me. You bring up a really, really good point. RJ, have you felt this too? And any advice for Teresa? If anything, we can relate. Thanks, Teresa.
I can totally relate. And I work with a lot of coaches actually. Because a lot of coaches, they'll have, a Facebook group, a private Facebook group with folks that they're working with or folks that are kind of considering working with them. And, they'll post questions and stuff like that. And crickets back. No one answers, or the same people answer all of the time.
Right. Exactly.
When you are working with somebody in a struggle, and I know that having a one-on-one conversation with them would be ideal because you can put them at ease. Or perhaps you're a person that does, maybe you don't fit for whatever reason. Wouldn't you like to be able to discover that early? Wouldn't you like to be able to cut to the chase? I always tell people that messenger marketing is like starting with the fifth date because the cool stuff's already going on. You know what I'm saying? It's none of the weirdness of the same 10 questions you ask everybody on the first date. No, let's skip. Let's skip ahead,
What's your relationship with your mother really like? So can we walk back to what you said on our third date about children? Teresa said, Teresa, preach. Glad it's not just me. You are so not alone. And let's talk about this. So I love that. So it's like, again, it's a marketing tool, but it's much more than that. It's a conversation starter. I'm dealing with the exact same situation you are, Teresa, because a lot of folks, and what we do, it requires a connection and multiple conversations before they might even know whether or not they want to work with us. Conversation is a key part of, dare I say it, our funnel, but of our relationship building exercise. Robert's saying that was a noodle thought. We're noodling on it, Robert. See, it's a highly technical term. See, he's so good. He's already bringing back the technical. Yes, this is a noodle conversation. So RJ, noodle on that. Can you expand on, do you have an example of maybe where you've used a messenger marketing technique to bring a conversation forward?
Absolutely. So the first messenger marketing tool that I did was called AccountabiliBuddy.
Woohoo!
It was for a client of mine. Now I'm a technology coach, so I still coach, but I just coach people on technology. People struggle with technology so much. I had a client who was like, I had written a thing where you hit a link every day in my private community. It takes you to this thing that you fill out. It's the top 3 things you want to get done today and blah, 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 and then you finish filling out the survey and then it goes to this other spreadsheet that you can look at if you want and sort and do all these things. I made this technologically fabulous thing. Okay. And my friend, Gail Gilliland, says, RJ, I know you made this great technological thing, but I have 3 children. I can't get off of my phone to go do all of these other things every morning because people need food. They need food. They need to get dressed. Somebody's missing their shoes.
Yeah, school.
Can you create something where I don't have to get off Facebook to answer your questions?
Uh-huh.
At the same time, I had run into messenger marketing and I thought this is a fabulous thing. And so I put 2 and 2 together and went, I'm going to write something so that my client can keep up with what's going on so that she can be accountable, that I can, read these every day or whatever. So I made it for her. She loved it so much that I started talking about it to other people. Somebody posted it on their page and everything took off from there. So I ended up writing a bot that had, those first 3 questions, what do you want to get done today? Blah, blah, blah. But then I also started asking some coaching questions about what people are struggling with. What's in your way? What's holding you back? What do you think is the answer to this question? That kind of stuff, all centered around accountability stuff. This was amazing and eye-opening. I thought nobody would answer the questions. I thought it would be just like posting a question on a page or in a group. people will see the question, but then be not wanting to answer or whatever. I thought it'd be crickets. You know what? I got much more participation. I got incredibly honest answers.
Yeah, it's like
and I was like, this is amazing. Do you know, and this I ran into yesterday, there's a therapy company out there, like, who are they're running out of messenger marketing. They're running out of a bot.
amazing.
Like, they just got a bunch of funding yesterday, because people they feel like if they're not staring at somebody new, if they're just answering questions on a phone, that it's just much more in an environment where they can talk all they want, say whatever they need to say. And people are so much more honest in that type of environment, and willing to come forward with answers to questions. People, it was completely amazing the way that people answered those questions. And so if you're working with people who are struggling, Teresa, then messenger marketing, it's the soul of coaching is a one-on-one conversation where I figure out where you're at. I figure out if I have something that could help you take that next step, and then I direct you toward that thing or towards something else that could help you level up whatever you're struggling with. That's the soul of it. So what if you could have that conversation with everybody you meet? That's what messenger marketing is about.
Teresa, it's a highly technical term. I call it the rainbow slide for me away from email marketing. Because I can't wait till when email marketing is finally dead. Just pay attention to younger generations. They'll tell you anything over Messenger, but they do not want to be emailed.
Oh, they don't.
Yeah.
I was talking to some potential clients yesterday. They run a music festival here in town. And I'm like, okay, totally, they do have the 50 plus crowd that loves their stuff and comes every summer. I'm like, don't, keep doing this email, but know this, you're not reaching the kids. You're not reaching people that are under 30 right now. You're not with email. So yeah, that was pretty eye-opening from them. I showed them a few stats from App Annie, and, it's absolutely true.
And Teresa's saying she hates email. Yeah, it's on its way out. I love it because, well, it goes back to what you were saying, RJ, about, I guess it just goes along the lines of what appeals to you. For me, I get the hairs on the back of my neck stand up when I'm emailing people, because I'm on the receiving end of every other email too. I know that it's sort of an overused tool. And while I understand high touch, you hear that phrase all the time. While I understand the importance of staying in front of your audience, it doesn't compute in my noggin. Let me email you 10 times, hoping that you respond to one, and assume that it's not a highly annoying experience for everybody. So I'm not saying email marketing is dead or that RJ is going to kill it. No, no pressure, RJ. But I'm saying that messenger marketing appeals to me because if I can just annoy less people, and it sounds like because the success of it relies on conversation, it sounds like, Teresa, you and I might have a rainbow slide. We can explore this area that'll probably serve us a little better, a little more than just flat out email marketing. She's saying, right. She says, I've been doing my best to avoid it like the plague. Right. And what does that mean? Like, RJ, what does that mean when we as business people we're actively avoiding a tool everyone's telling us to use, i.e. email marketing? Is that a sign of the times? Are we onto something? I mean, does it mean messenger marketing is something that we should be exploring?
To me, what it means is, okay, when email came out, it was a miracle. All right.
Yeah.
So beautiful. I could instantly be able to get a hold of somebody. It was amazing. It was mind-blowing stuff. That was 20 years ago. It has been used for a whole lot of things since then, right? It has been used inappropriately by lots and lots of people. Basically, nobody owns that platform. Now, the very reason that it has been abused is what makes it that factor of nobody owns that platform is both good and bad. It's good because if I've got your name on an email list, nobody can take that away from me. Messenger marketing, if you put all of the eggs in that basket, that's fine, but hope that you never lose that account, or, find a way to transfer some of that information out so that if Facebook ever, I don't know, a great big cabbage hits its head and it goes underground or something like that. I mean, it's unimaginable, but so, there was a time that AOL, everybody thought that was going to live forever too. So, so protect yourself. But for me, when I sit down to write, if I have something to say that really fits the email format, which is once every 3 to 4 months, don't get excited about my email list, people. Don't get excited about my newsletter. It's going to come at you once every 3 to 4 months. It is going to come at you with that. When I choose that format, though, it's not because this is how I shout to all my people. I choose it because that length, that lecture is something that format is something that I need to get a message across.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, when I'm sitting down to write, I'm sitting down to write my half of a conversation because it comes much more naturally to me. Right. And it becomes much more easy. And I can put my personality in a way that I can't put it in an email. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that hopefully that's an answer to the question. I do still use email, absolutely, but I use it I take that format and I go, what do I have to say that would be best in this format? And then I send it out. I do not spam you. I will not, I've been spammed so many times.
Yeah.
So what does it mean to you? What does it mean to you when there's this format and everybody's saying, build your list, build your list, build your list. You're going to die without your list. And yet it's something that you never look forward to writing. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, I think, Teresa, I'm keen to hear your thoughts, and Robert and Stephen too. I'm sick of being told to build my lists. I understand the importance. I think if anything, and there's a huge echo, so I'm sorry. I like hearing my voice twice, but I apologize if there's an echo. RJ, if you've got another browser open, maybe shut that down, or maybe your earbuds. Okay, so it's probably just me. I'm in stereo. Sorry, guys. It's your conscious talking. But along those lines, and Teresa, I think the question was to you, so maybe while you noodle it, I'm happy to chat. It sounds like don't hang your hat all on one thing. Messengers can service. It sounds like a good strategy always is to diversify, explore this new tool. RJ is saying email still serves a purpose. I think like a smart strategist, take a second to think before, what is the best way to communicate this point? Is it Messenger? It might still be email. It sounds like they can certainly complement each other. When it comes to list building, to go off of your question, I think what people who say build your list mean, or what I interpret as, it's like nurture your community, whatever that means to them. They're all right. So that you can create an audience, a loyal following that you can essentially continue to market yourself to or show value to, because ideally that's your funnel. What I'm hearing from RJ is a messenger exercise, or taking those conversations on Messenger. You're still accomplishing the same goal. You're building your list, but not in the more traditional email marketing. So our goals are still the same, but the execution is different. Is that right?
Yeah, it's true. For me, it has been a shift from build your list, build your list, build your list, because man, I've had people tell me that forever. And you know how often I write an email. But growing your community, making connections with them to the point where if I got off Facebook today, would they follow me over to YouTube?
Yes. Good
building relationships with people toward a place where they want you to have that contact information. Yeah. That is way different than collecting business cards at a networking party and then putting them all on a list and then giving them information they haven't asked for. So to me, it's a switch. It's a switch in, and again, diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, but man, build my community. And that's the thing about messenger marketing too, is that a huge amount of people. Okay, so I am part of a lot of communities about bots. It's where I, kind of function and communicate with people and solve problems and things like that. And I see every day, I got 5,000 people in my bot overnight. Are you having 5,000 conversations then?
Right.
What? Maybe like people are like spamming people with these kinds of numbers and all of that stuff. And what I want to say is the most precious thing that comes out of me and messenger marketing is a better and closer relationship with somebody in my community that I really like and want to hang out with. Jessica right here, you're an example. I mean, this is...
exactly.
We bonded over Wonder Woman.
Always.
And like, so now Jessica's part of my community. And,
Absolutely.
And so, building solid relationships, the numbers in my bot, I could care less. The number of conversations that I'm having in it, real life, get to know you conversations, that's what's important to me.
Yeah. Because by the way, you guys, I've worked with RJ. She's helped me create a really fun challenge, which I'll reveal a little bit at the end of today and next week. But it's like, so there's an example of what I liked about RJ, about jumping into the conversation. And I tried, I think it was AccountabiliBuddy that I walked through one of your challenges. There was no question that I knew it was a messenger exercise, but there was no question. Your personality was all over it. It made me chuckle. It made me laugh. I knew that was totally congruent to who you are because I'd already become a fan just watching you on other shows, checking out your site. So it was like this amazing extension of who you were. I absolutely knew the whole time. I was like, I knew that it was a bot exercise challenge that you'd created, because that's how you present it. There was 100% transparency, but I still felt that at any time, if I wanted to take that conversation further, you would be there, and that I already had one step in the conversation. So it was kind of a revolutionary experience for me because I don't get that on email marketing. Teresa, I'm going to honor your comment. I swear. She says, I've been told for the past 3 years to build my list. And I keep asking why. I hate to write or send email. I know it's like the big why. And then I think you said something else. Okay. She says, okay, RJ, you just validated what I felt all along.
Teresa, me, we need to hang out.
Yeah. You do need to hang out with her, Teresa. I'm just saying, I don't mean to wrestle you, but you should. If anything, you'll laugh a lot. Yeah, it's like, RJ, you're kind of like preaching the gospel on the reality of it's like what we know matters. What we know is meaningful is conversation. As marketers or being on the receiving end, we all wish we could do that, wish we could create those experiences. We're being told from everyone that we need to, but it's incredibly intimidating. It's nauseating. And until I'd experienced, here's another thing about your messenger bots. It's like, there's a warmth to it.
Yeah.
Might not, which is again, totally congruent to your brand and who you are. But I was like, this is a pleasant experience. I know she has a business to run. I'm probably going to work with her. That question was already validated by the fact that I like this entire experience. But oh my God, I'm having a good time while doing it. I mean, that's a rarity, right?
It's a huge rarity. And here's the thing. And here's the thing that just shocks me. Doing this, having these conversations with people, it's the end of fake marketing. And the fake marketing part, we've all seen this, right? It's okay. I'm not confident enough in my personality to really get out there with that. My business isn't successful yet, so I'm going to pick somebody whose business is successful, and I'm going to mirror what they've got. I'm going to, pick it out. I'm going to pick Gary V or whatever it is and take his stuff and like smush it to make it mine a little bit, but I'm going to put that out there because I know that's successful. And then I'm going to, hopefully that will attract some people. Okay.
And that's when you see disconnects, or you see women marketing themselves like Gary V or vice versa. And you're like, this, like, we know there's a difference, right? Between, look, I like a blueprint. I like a template. I like a proven method just like y'all, because it saves time. Listen, and we know that nothing needs to be created on the internet. It's already been done. But it sounds like, RJ, you're saying it's like you can quickly run out of the realm of authenticity if you're just going to copy somebody else, right?
Well, and that's what we're taught to do. I mean, I have also signed up for the 7-step system in my life. I've been duped by that kind of stuff too. And we're taught to be inauthentic. We're taught to not be ourselves because it's not good enough.
Yeah.
What messenger marketing does is it asks you to be yourself, because here it is. And we all know this. Mm-hmm. People make an emotional decision and then back it up with facts. We do it when we're dating, when we are interviewing people for a job, when we are looking at somebody's live stream and deciding whether we want to work with them or not. We do it all the time. We make an emotional gut reaction and then we back that stuff up with facts. Why are there so many math teachers in the world, Jessica Payne?
God, you're asking me a question like that. You couldn't ask me what my favorite color was. I don't know.
It might be purple. Because I already know my friend.
Because it is everywhere. Yes, it is purple. Right. She's also telepathic, y'all.
Yeah. The reason there are so many math teachers in the world is because they're all teaching the same thing. They're all teaching the same material. It's math, right? It's just that some people have a different way. They get a different response. Math teachers they're all way different. And as you went through school and were forced to take math, as I was, you responded really well to some, and to some it was just like, this is torture.
Yeah.
But we're all teaching the same stuff. You can find, if you Googled it right now, messenger marketing courses, messenger marketing teachers. You could Google that stuff right now and get a billion answers for this. Mm-hmm. Why would you choose me? Because you relate to my personality and you like the way that I teach things. How am I going to show you that? I'm going to show you my real personality. You can do that in a bot. To a certain extent, you can do that in an email, but in a bot, you're having a conversation. You're having a one-on-one. You're gauging, you're gauging reaction. And it's such a different process, and you can get so much more information in a bot than you can in an email because of the back and forth.
It's been eye-opening going through the exercise with you. And guys, full transparency, RJ, I worked with RJ to create what you'll see next week is a Facebook Live challenge. What I love about Messenger, and we talked about this before, messenger marketing, is the fact that it can become a really cool teaching tool. What fulfills me is teaching people, not marketing at people. Because I'm a coach, I'm an expert. I want to teach people to use social media, to teach people to use Facebook Live. And boy, did you show me how I could inject my personality. I'm just so flippin' excited. Like, we used a really cool technique involving Bitmoji. We used some great kind of narrative conversations. You helped me learn the nuance, because we can maybe overthink something as simple as a messenger challenge. So just that experience alone was lovely, because you truly have to be yourself the entire time. I mean, you have to be, because it's a conversational medium first and foremost. So I love that. And there were times where I was like, why am I uncomfortable? It's because I'm not being myself, what I really want to say. And I love that, because when I was setting up this challenge, I would really sit with it and be like, what would Jessica Payne want to say? What would her personality would be a little silly probably at this point, or like, I'm being way too serious. So I just loved that you were with me the entire time. You held my hand the entire time. I'm a marketer. I've got 20 years doing this, but this modality was different, and it's highly personal. And once I wrapped my head around that, which you helped me, God, it's so much, it's fun, which dare I say. So how about you walk us through an example? Because I think you have an example of, can people take a challenge, or is there something people can do to experience this messenger marketing, either through you or something that you've set up, or another site? Where can people actually experience what we're talking about?
I've got a couple of ways that people can experience. One, if you're just starting out, bare bones, you don't know what's going on or what messenger marketing really is, you can go to checkoutmybot.com. That I have right there a 7-day mini course. It's free, obviously, and it will teach you all about the bots. It will teach you all the important points. It'll run for 7 days. It'll give you a teacup full of information every day about, something about bots. It's a great place to go if you're just starting out. If you're a person that is already a couple of laps down the track and you just want to put a bot into action, I have a 5-day challenge. Startyourbot.com. I have a 5-day challenge there. You will go from 0 to having a messenger marketing bot working for you on your site, your website, or your Facebook page within 5 days.
And guys, I will link to that in the comments. You said startmybot.com, right, RJ?
Startyourbot.com, yeah.
See, that's why I asked. And I'm putting it up in the comments right now so you guys can see, but we will absolutely link to those. I would really encourage you just to, well, it's like, A, it's fun, and B, it's like you're learning the skill RJ is teaching you, and you're learning how a bot works. So it's like you kind of walk away learning 3 different things. Startyourbot.com. I'm going to put that up right now. So we've got checkoutmybot.com mini course, and then we've got startyourbot.com, which is a multi-day challenge.
Yep. 5-day challenge. It's short. It's sweet. It's some work. Know that it's some work, but several people have taken that now and they've gotten started. You see, there's a lot to know. I believe in making something, like if you think of like how a rose is constructed, you make the middle part first. You know what I mean? Let's make a most valuable product. Let's test it. Let's get your feet wet with it. Let's get you knowing all the tools that you can use. And then let's add a little bit every time. Let's just add a little bit to the process. That is a much better learning experience than I'm going to teach it to you all right now. Well, it's impossible because bots change every day. ManyChat changes, Facebook changes every day. So yeah, that's the best way, that I've been able to think of to get started. And if I may go back to what you were saying about personality, here's the oddest thing. And I didn't expect this at all. The more of your personality you put into the bot, the more successful it is. What do you mean? That's not the way it's supposed to go. We're all supposed to sound like this. We're all supposed to sound like bland marketer number 362 who says this and this cadence and these words, and has this call to action at the end. Then no, you know what? People are so hurting for a human experience. They
God,
love
yeah.
having a human experience. Starbucks ain't just selling coffee. If they were, it'd be a lot cheaper. They're selling a social experience, and that's what made them take off. For me, I want to know that you are well motivated. I want to know that my personality is something that you respond to. If I know that, then we can work together, And so it really does work both ways. You can figure out who I am by me showing my personality, my teaching style, which I show in both of those bots. If you don't respond to that and you're out, I'm okay. You know what I mean? Beautiful. Yeah. That is so fantastic. You will respond to, there are a billion other people teaching bots out there. Go respond to one of them. It's totally fine. Yeah. But you just get so much more, I think, out of messenger marketing and encouragement as marketing.
Encouragement as marketing. Girl, you said it. That's one of my favorite phrases. And I think it goes without saying, messenger marketing isn't for everybody. There are many people out there where their funnels are working, their lists are working. They maybe prefer, for whatever reason, or maybe not feel a need to be so high touch. That goes without saying. I think what we're saying here is, here's a huge opportunity for folks that benefit from kind of this nurturing conversation. Teresa, I think we've got a couple of great comments coming in from you, so I'm going to show them. So, see, I can't do that. That's why I've stayed so behind the screen. I can't present myself in a way that is not me. Talking directly to one person is much more natural. Boom. Teresa, this is a huge point of conversation I have all the time, because RJ's focus is messenger marketing. My focus is live streaming. Same animal. It's like the one-on-one conversation. And RJ, I'll hand this over to you. But what I usually start is, it's like, when we're ourselves, suddenly that fear somehow tends to go away a little bit. And for me, I talk about it in terms of, like, people are terrified of being on camera. And typically I peel back the layers and I go, well, why? And then it actually has nothing. They're like, I'm not good on camera. It's like, what you're really telling me is that are you not confident in what you want to say? Are you not an expert? Do you not believe in what you're saying? It basically, people lack the confidence, or don't feel they can trust what they know to be true. And it sounds like, whether you're on live streaming or whether you're using a messenger, I think it's absolutely valid to use the modality you're comfortable with. But at the end of the day, it sounds like there is now an opportunity to be yourself, and that's enough. And when you combine it with a really awesome tool like messenger marketing, it just kind of makes sense. You can't pretend to be someone. Well, you can pretend to be someone else. But it sounds like, from RJ, the more authentic you are, it sounds like that's what resonates with people. But yeah, I totally get it. So maybe messenger marketing is something that you want to consider. She says, creating content, I was able to stay safe and express who I am, which felt natural. Totally. It's sort of like, we're going to get to this in a future show about, as women, we could probably relate. There's a certain point at how much we want to expose about ourselves, whether it's being on camera or being behind the scenes. So messenger marketing could be a great tool for you, Teresa, because you still have that protective layer, but you can still operate in real time, being yourself conversationally, but maybe you're not so much in the spotlight. RJ, do you have any thoughts in terms of, so Teresa, you bring some really, really good points. She says, that's what we were taught to do, Jessica, be this model. Totally. Real is great. Real is greater than perfect is what I always say, Teresa. We're trying to help strip that layer back, because guess who told us to do that? It's a very perfect masculine way of marketing. I'm not hating on the guys. I'm just saying it's a traditional old paradigm. Mad men, right? So we can actually be ourselves, because I don't know about you, but I want to see people I can identify with, and I'm a little weird. So I want to see weird. I want to see authentic. I want to see awkward. I want to see fun. I want to see relatable. Yeah.
It's like this. Would you ever go to a party or a networking event and say to yourself, I'm going to act exactly like that guy, or I'm going to try to model exactly what this person is doing right now. You wouldn't do that because it's just not, you wouldn't do that, but
it's not authentic. It feels wrong.
Yeah. But when people are writing an email, they'll do exactly that.
And that's why it sucks.
That's why it sucks.
That's why nobody likes doing it. We feel it's a chore.
Yeah.
When you feel like it's a chore and you're not enthused to do it. So RJ, you asked me at the top of the show, why do I live stream? Because I flip and love it. There's a lot about my job that I don't love, but live streaming I love, and I get the sense that you love messenger marketing. Teresa, it's you're more than likely to get out from under your content, to write those emails, to connect with people in a way that's authentic if you love it. And it sounds like being yourself is maybe where to start. So find the modality and it sounds like messenger marketing could be that. It's like if we're ourselves, chances are we're a little bit more motivated to do stuff.
Totally.
Yeah, instead of being someone else. She says, that's why I don't want it. That's why I won't do it. Yeah. We can go down the rabbit hole of the deep why and the why nots, girl, if you want. When we're told we need to be a certain way, we either accept it or we resist the hell out of it. And right now, the pendulum is swinging across the world. It's not men and women, young and old. It's like, don't tell me what I need to do, who I need to be. The doors are opening. We're finding new tools, new technologies that absolutely depend on you being yourself.
Yeah.
And it sounds like, RJ, it sounds like we're just cracking the peeling back just the first layer on this whole world of messenger marketing. Is that right?
It's absolutely true. And I'm so grateful to be along on this ride and so grateful to be able to educate people about my favorite mode of marketing.
Gosh, I'm going to have you come on like a million times.
Okay.
I feel, yeah.
Accept.
What I love about this is, and this was the first time I ever saw you speak. You have this beautiful talent of distilling down this highly complex topic. Bots. It's got a stigma already attached to it. Not fair, but it does. You can define it. You can show us how to do it. There's a warmth in how you do it, a style to how you do it. This would be a different show if you were telling me how to get those 5,000 bot people. I'd be bored already, and I'd already be kind of like dismissing it as just one more spammy way to get in touch with people. But it sounds like if you start, like, I love the rosebud thing. If you start with just nurturing your audience, being yourself, creating just genuine conversations. Oh, by the way, it sounds like bots are just the technology of how you deliver that conversation. That's where you start.
Right, exactly. Like, think of it as a conversation first. The technology will help you. Excuse me, sorry.
Speaking of the technology gods.
Yeah, good. They've just spoken. The technology will help deliver it. That's fine. I can teach you the technology part. Having a real conversation with somebody. Think about starting there and learning the technology second, and you will be all right.
Hear that, Teresa? That is such good advice. And that is the same advice you gave me and the same advice that I followed when I was building my bot. Because it's daunting. You're learning a new skill, but I've linked to both of your challenges, RJ, in the comments. So guys, if we're at the top of the hour, so I want to honor your time. If you have any questions about bots or want to get a taste of all this magic that RJ's putting out there, she's got 2 ways you can engage with her. So again, if you're just tuning in or you can't find the links, check in the comments. I've linked to them both. One's a 5-day challenge, and one is a mini course, which I would highly, highly recommend, because I think now that maybe you like the idea, you got to go try it out.
Yeah.
I tried it out, and that's what convinced me of like, oh, this is amazing. And that's why I worked with RJ. But first and foremost, just try it out for yourself. just so you can put a face to a name. Do you know what I mean? RJ, any parting words? We could talk for another hour in terms of messenger marketing, encouragement marketing. Any words you'd like to leave us with?
If you've got a passion and you want to educate people about a certain topic and you can edit a PowerPoint, you can do messenger marketing. And if you want my help, I'm available. If you want to go get help by somebody else, that's totally cool too. But honestly, this is something where I'm going to encourage you to be you. I'm going to give you everything I know about how to be successful. And I can't thank you enough for having me on your show to be able to connect with more people, because this is my passion. This is what I do full time. And I love talking to Jessica Payne.
Oh my gosh. And I love having you on. It's like you inspire me on multiple levels. This is the RJ Love Fest. Hey, Gail, it's Gail or Gael? Gail, you have a beautiful name. You remind me of my college roommate. Her name was Gael. But just your spelling is similar. Thanks for joining us. RJ was just kind of giving us some parting words. And I was starting with my RJ Love Fest. I love that you love what you do. Period. I mean, I can't expand on that. You inspire me on multiple levels. And first and foremost, it's because you clearly love what you do. And that is contagious in a good way. And just for those of you guys watching who are coaches, experts, where you are your brand, study RJ. She's what she says on the tin. I always say real is greater than perfect. You are so authentic. You are who you are. And gosh, we need more people like that in the world. And I just love how that carries over, by the way, into the brilliant work that you do. But it's so nice to have you on the show. Just an example of someone who just flipping loves what they do. Because we spend a lot of time on this earth working hard, and we should enjoy it, right? And a lot of times marketing is annoying. So thank you for sharing with us something we're totally going to continue to talk about. We're just cracking the surface on this. Guys, take her challenges to understand what it is. Gail, thanks for joining, and I love all your comments. Oh, she's all on the RJ Love Fest. I can't let you go, RJ, without this. Love it. And her parting words were lovely. I mean, you are the real deal, my friend. Guys, check out Black Belt Bots. Follow her. If there's one thing you do, jump over to her Facebook page, which I'll link to again. It's at Black Belt Bots. And just get a sense. You'll love her brand. It's this ninja. It's awesome. And take notes, because she's someone worth following. Dude, RJ, we have to say goodbye now, and I don't want to.
We are only parting for a short time, and I'm gonna be back around, and you're part of the circle, so don't worry. It's impermanence.
Listen, guys, as the shy kid, as the introvert, like that just like speaks to my soul. Guys, check out RJ. Thank you so much, Gail. Looks like we had Rob. We had another Rob. We had Stephen. We had Jamie. We had who else did we have on? We had a couple more people. Thank you so much, Teresa, for your comments, your questions. This is a big flipping topic. If you have questions and you're watching this on the replay, don't hesitate to put your questions in the comments, or you can direct message RJ if you don't want to ask it publicly, or me. We will make sure you get them answered. Big, hairy topic. RJ, I'm going to let you go, but thank you so much for coming on. And
thank you.
Yeah, all hail RJ and the Bots, just like your new band name. Awesome. All right, you guys, join me in wishing RJ a fond farewell. You can catch me every week here, Tuesday, 8 a.m. Pacific, Jessica Payne Live. If you're interested in live streaming or participating in the challenge I mentioned that RJ helped me build, I will also link to it in the comments, or you can just comment me, I'm ready. More on that, stay tuned. But first and foremost, you guys, thanks for watching. RJ, thank you. Have a beautiful day, and we'll see you soon. Au revoir. This is where I sing. There's apologies in advance. Goodbye.
Farewell.
Got a soprano in the house. Farewell.
No, that was not a good. No.
No, it was the perfect ending on